Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel Mayta What Ifs. Today I am back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Hiruzens' Soul Was Switched with Naruto's, and yeah guys, it is an unscripted story. Now before continuing this, shout out is due, it is due. Shout out to AK-ZT9LO for suggesting this idea. It's going to be a little bit dark-ish because Hiruzen is going to have a rude awakening call in this one. So I hope you enjoy this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, it's a no-ship story, so yeah, spoiler alert. Now, but without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato. On an uneventful night known as October 10th, everything was going on peacefully as any other usual night would have been. And that was until, in the middle of the night, when the Kyubi no Yoko, when the rest of the village was asleep, and some of the shinobis were awake, attacked, and began to cause havoc and destruction everywhere. People were traumatized and terrorized by this. The civilians tried their best to escape, but most of them were caught under the rubble and have perished, and some were in need of desperate help. The shinobis were trying their best to distribute themselves in two parties, to one to go to the front lines under the guidance of the third Hokage to defend their home, while the other to go and rescue the people who were buried under alive, and rescue them to the best they can. All the while, their current Hokage, Minato Namikaze, was missing from the action. But most people knew their Hokage would be somewhere nearby. In the meanwhile, the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, was trying his best to uphold the morale of the people, alongside him defending their home at the front lines of the village. But so far, they, and even he, knew that all of them were fighting a losing battle against the strongest Biju in the existence of the whole elemental nations. And that all changed with the arrival of the chief toad known as Kamabunta, who headbutted the Biju and tried his best to even out the odds for the villagers. And for a moment, a few of them at least, Hiruzen and the others had a sigh of relief that they might now have chances to take down the Kyubi no Yoko, the strongest Biju. But that all went down the drain when the Biju began to easily overpower the toad, and they all could see and witness that the chief toad, the strongest toad of the Toad clan, was now on the losing streak and on the losing end again, and that scale was again tipping in the favor of Kyubi and not in the favor of them. But that all changed when his gaze fell upon Minato, who was about to cast some hand seals. Seeing that something might be odd and Minato might try to do something stupid, Hiruzen arrived there in the nick of time. Minato, what the hell are you doing? And how did this even happen? I thought everything was under control. Everything was, until an attack happened. What do you mean an attack? Someone attacked us and took away Kushina as a hostage, and then released the Biju on the whole village. What? Who would do that? Asked Hiruzen. Now's not the time, Hokage-sama. Right now I'm in desperate need to do this jutsu. What are you going to do? And what even is this seal? I haven't seen that anywhere. As that is when his eyes widened as he recognized the seal from somewhere. Don't tell me. You're going to cast the Hokkai Fuyin? That forbidden jutsu. Are you insane, Minato? Now is not the time, Hiruzen-sama. This is the only chance we have, and this is the only option I deem fit for this. Then what about the village? You're the current Hokage. What will happen to it? Right now, as the Hokage of this village, it is my responsibility to save it, whether it costs me my life as well. No, Minato. If anyone has to die tonight, it's not you. At least not you. As Minato's eyes widened, what do you mean by that? Hiruzen-sama, I will do the hand seals. What? What do you mean? You're the Hokage of this village, and you have been for a few months right now. The people will need their new Hokage. I have passed down the torch to you, Minato, and I'm not gonna take the mentality back again, because the village is in need of fresh blood, especially you. So hand this job over to me. Leave this to me. As Minato then looked towards the chief toad, who looked at him, trying his best to hold on. Kid, do what you gotta do, but do it fast. I'm not gonna be able to hold up for long any longer. Just hold on, Kamabunta-sama. I'm almost done, said Minato. As now we see, an argument was about to break out, but that is until the favor tipped into the shinobi scale again once Kushina arrived, panting heavily while in a cold sweat, as she, using her chakra chains, captured the Biju and, well, begin to absorb chakra through that chakra chains of the Uzumakis to regain her strength. I'm absorbing the chakra, but I won't be able to last long since my chakra reserves will be full and my wounds will be healed, Minato. Decide what you have to do right now. As that is when Gamabunta yelled out, "Hurry up, kid! Even with those chains, I will be barely able to hold on any longer. I'm low on chakra. Damn it. Hiruzens-sama, please allow me to do this." "No, Minato. I have to." As Minato then finally agreed, as Hiruzen, taking this as a gesture of thanks, then moved forward and began to do the hand seals. And finally clapping his hands together, he summoned the Shinigami. That goddess arrived as the time slowed down for everyone except for him. As now we see, Hiruzen was feeling chills run down his spine, meeting face to face with the dead goddess herself. "Why did you summon me, mortal?" Settled a chilly sound, as now we see Hiruzen, after taking a huge gulp, then said, I did. I want you to seal the Biju into this child." As the Shinigami was barely able to hear it because of the, well, fear that she could sense from the said old man. "Hiruzen Sarutobi, I did not hear what you have said. Speak clearly, mortal." As Hiruzen, now realizing that he has to speak clearly, then built up his strength and said, "Shinigami Strama, I have summoned you here because I need your help to seal the Biju into this child. To stop all this madness that is going on." "I see. You do know that in exchange I will be taking your soul, right? As a payment." "Yes. I know that is necessary, and I'm prepared for it." "Good. The deal will be made." As Shinigami, using a katana, then slashed her chest, and from within it a chain appeared that impaled straight through the chest of Hiruzen Sarutobi as his soul was ripped apart, as he could feel as if he was like a cloth of silk that was thrown on a cactus, and then someone ripped him out, and that is how he felt like the soul was ripped out of his body at that moment. Extremely painful. As the Shinigami consumed the soul, the deal was made, and the Biju was sealed again inside Naruto Uzumaki, the newborn of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki, the Hokage's child. As now we see, after this was done, Hiruzen fell face first to the ground, as Minato dashed towards him. "Hiruzen-sama!" As everyone who was about to cheer then was now silenced because they all knew a legend today has passed away, and that was none other than Hiruzen Sarutobi, their son Dame Hokage. And the moment and the atmosphere was somber. As now we see, Kushina then said, "It's finally finished. It's a sad thing that Hiruzen-sama had sacrificed himself, but I'm glad you're here, Minato." "Yeah, but he didn't have to. It was my job to do as the Hokage. It was Hiruzen-sama's choice. He wished for it, and he wished for you to live. You have to abide by that, at least." "Yeah, I guess you're right, Kakashi." As now we see, Minato got up from his knees and handed over the body of Hiruzen-sama to Kakashi Hatake, one of his trusted Jonins as well as Anbus. As now we see, he went and picked up his son, who was just born, and became the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko. "Minato, you do know that I know." As that is when we see another person arrive there. It was Jiraiya. As Jiraiya had another child in his arms. Child similar to Naruto, but only difference was that he had red hair like their mother. And this child was his twin brother, Menma Uzumaki no Mikaze. "So, Minato, is it done?" "Yes, sensei. It is done. It's a sad thing that my sensei passed away, but I knew this would have happened. But sensei, where were you? As you ordered. I was tracking down that person, but in the end he was able to escape. I knew you would be able to stop it, but I did not anticipate that sensei would use this." "Why in the hell would you use the Hake Fuyin, Minato?" said Kushina. "You know that seal was dangerous. It is a deal made with the Shinigami. Are you out of your mind? Your soul would have been consumed for all eternity." I know, and that was a price that I was ready to pay." "No, Minato. That was a price that nobody's ready to pay. And unfortunately, Hiruzen-sama willingly had to take that from you." "That is your mistake," said Jiraiya. As now we see, Jiraiya then turned and said, We don't have much time. We have to go and deal with the council and then come to a conclusion about what we have discussed earlier. As now we see, as this was going on in Konoha Gakure in the elemental nation, we go towards where Hiruzen's soul has went, into an abyss of eternal darkness. As soon he was consumed in light, and then in the next moment he found himself standing in front of three goddesses, and immediately realized who they were: Kami, Yami, and Shinigami. Kami-sama, Shinigami-sama, Yami-sama. It's an honor to meet you. I wish we could have said the same, Hiruzen Sarutobi. As that is when another voice said, as we see Hiruzen's eyes widen as he saw that this voice came from none other than the sage of the sixth path, an old man who was wearing a white robe with a staff and black Magatama orbs, like it was described in the ancient books from the, Monkey Clan. It was really the sage of the sixth path himself. Say-sama, what do you mean by that? Did I do something wrong? Unfortunately, yes. You have doomed not only the world, but the child of prophecy. You see, the child of prophecy's soul was created by the combination of the three goddesses. What do you mean by that? The soul of the child of prophecy that was given to Naruto Uzumaki, the son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. He has been lost, or will be lost in the future. And the world? Unfortunately, it will be growing more and more corrupted. And since he is lost, there is no way for them to be saved. Their own arrogance will kill them. What do you mean by that? We will show you. Show them. Hagaromo Otsutsuki, said Kami. As now we see, Hagaromo, with the tap of his fingers, showed visions of future, where Indra Otsutsuki, his son, which was Sasuke Uchiha, will grow more and more rampant and corrupt. Minato and Kushina, right after his death, would leave Naruto behind and tell everyone that he is the Jinchuriki when Danzo asked this. Since Hiruzen isn't there, and neither are them, because they think that Menma is the child of prophecy and he needs to be trained to stop his brother if he goes rampant again, because Kushina has PTSDs after what has happened, and so has Minato and most of the village. But not that at all. Also that he is somewhat of a genius as well, because right after he was born, his chakra was unlocked. It was sort of a test, but they have failed miserably at that. And not only that, that was the beginning of the bad luck for them all. Soon after they left, Danzo was left as the temporary in charge, and he wanted complete and all over control. So he kept Minato and Kushina and Jiraiya in dark, seeing that their duty was much more important and could be vital for Konoha. Right now he needed to deal with the Biju. He didn't care if he was the son of the fourth Hokage or not. Right now, they left him here, which basically meant that he was kicked out and not wanted, so he could do whatever he wanted to do with him. And so, the whole village was ordered to beat the crap out of him and ignore him. He basically, by the age of 8, became a pharaoh, living on his own on streets, in tattered clothes, all on his own, like a thin skeleton. And soon after that, a terrible night, October 10th, arrived. His 9th birthday, so was it supposed to be, the happiest day of his life, which turned into his, unfortunately, most miserable and the last day of his life. Because after getting a gruesome beating, he perished. He was not able to sustain any more life. And the Biju, thanks to the Shinigami seal, it was consumed by it too, since Naruto died as well. And once Minato Kushina returned, they thought that Naruto was gone. They were sad about it, but they never knew the boy, so yeah, they were over it quickly, after a month or so. Menma, he was quite saddened. He felt like Naruto was his other half, because both basically were twins. And to avenge him, he decided to plot a ploy that was going to destroy Konoha. And it did work. At the age of 20, once Minato passed on the head finally from Danzo to Menma, who became the fifth Hokage, Menma began to declare wars again and again and again, and this caused Konoha forces to grow weaken, and much more weaken. But they were winning wars, so Konoha's morale was high, and he wanted to destroy them. And right before, the whole elemental nation, alongside the land of fire themselves, who declared war because of the arrogance of the Konoha village that was growing ever so more, because of their continuously winning wars, declared war on them altogether. We see that Menma at that moment turned sides and was now going to go against his people, blaming all of them and even his parents. And that is when he revealed his master plan. And for that, Sasuke Uchiha, the second most corrupted person in the Otsutsuki reincarnation, killed him. And then the destruction pursued. And then Otsutsukis came, and the remaining humans became their slaves, and their chakra was stripped from them. And then even the Otsutsukis were defeated when the Ten Tails regained conscience of their own and began to cause rampant destruction everywhere. As that is when now we see Hiruzen was gasping for air after witnessing all of these in the mere flashbacks. What was that? Is that our future? Unfortunately, it is. That poor boy's soul was lost because of the trauma. So after that happened, Kamiyami and Shinigami-sama became so much enraged since he was created by a part of them each. So they basically thought he was their son who has gone and endured through that they forsake them. And because of them being forsaken, this has been the future. I don't know what to say. I never would have thought that village would stoop so low to harm a innocent child. And all for what? For something his parents and I tend to do, and that was for them and in their favor, so that they could survive another day. I don't understand. It cannot be. Everything is in front of you. Do you trust not our judgment, mortal? Said Yami. No, I dare not say that. I can't say that. I completely agree with what you have shown me. But it's just hard to comprehend. What is there hard to comprehend? Right after I consumed your soul, we saw what would happen. And we were quite saddened about that. And, to be truthful, quite afraid. Right now we have stopped the time and have decided to change the future for good with the help of Hagoromo and you, the one who caused all of this. What can I do to correct it? As Hagoromo said, you seem eager to do so. Yes, obviously. Because if everyone is going to end up like that, then if anyone I have to apologize more than ever to, it is at least Naruto. For his sake I have to do this. Because that boy didn't deserve to die such a miserable death at the hands of these people. At least. Good. At least now you know. Then we will give you options. We want our son's soul back, said Kami, because we don't wish for that boy to suffer such a fate. Since his fate cannot be altered there, you will replace him and alter the world's fate. The world's fate? Since he was supposed to be the child of prophecy there. That's all. Since that will be replaced by you, now you will have to take the role of the child of prophecy, Hiruzens Harutobi, and you will have to decide what you should need to do with the world. Remember this, Menma Uzumaki Namikaze will be only person who will be loyal to you and be by your side. But not before his return. Until then, you will be on your own. Now all you have to do is decide what you wish to do with this world. We will give you 3 options. One is to destroy this world, like as you have seen, with the help of Menma. Second is to save them, which was meant to be, but we'd rather not have you go with that, because we are enraged and have forsaken them, even if they haven't done that yet. And the third is a reset. A what? A reset of a sort. Every ounce of chakra, said Hagoromo explaining further on, will be taken from them because it wasn't originally theirs. And it will be only your responsibility as the next stage of the 6th path to hand out the chakra to the individuals who will be your student and whom you seem fit to pass down this chakra and energy. That is the third and final option that we have. While the rest who are arrogant and power hungry, they will not be given any ounce of chakra anymore. The chakra that was meant to unite them, they have used it and abused it as a power, as a source to destroy one another. And I won't stand for that. And Kamiyami and Shinigami won't as well. It is up to you to decide, Hiruzens Harutobi, what do you wish to do? I think a reset will be best. In this way, they will be like living dead bodies walking everywhere. Because we shinobis and konoichis, if anything, would rather die than have our chakra coils destroyed. I have witnessed it in all my years of life. Shinobi's chakra coils destroyed due to abuse of them, and then they end up suiciding, and so on and so forth. Witnessed it too many times. So I think this will be the perfect punishment, an agonizing one at that for all of them. Good. So you have chosen the reset. But remember this, Hiruzen, even after what you have done, there is high chance that we will forgive this generation. The next generation we can never be so careful, but we will monitor them and watch them carefully. Do you accept these conditions? When will I be transported into his body? He will be at the age of 5 by now, since we began to talk. You mean 5 years have gone by? Time flows differently here than there. So you have to decide quickly. Soon our child will die, and then we ourselves will have to intervene, breaking the ancient laws and destroy them all. So decide. I will choose the third option. Reset is the best punishment for them. Allow me to do this. And that is when we see Hiruzen woke up in an alleyway. After that, consumed by a bright white light. It was the alley of Konoha. Near the dumpster, he found himself in the body that was covered in bruises, as well as in tattered clothes that were tainted red. And this was the body of Naruto Uzumaki, now his. He remembered the words of the sage. He now had the abilities as well as the power of Rikoto Sanin, meaning he could use even his senseis, the legendary wood release of Hashirama Senju ability. As now we see, right now he needed to get away from here, get a new set of clothes. So using the chakra that he had now, thanks to his mature reserves that he once had, as well as his Sage of the Sixth Path reserves, alongside with his own, Naruto's own monstrous reserves, due to him being the child of prophecy, we see that Naruto changed himself into an old man that was one of the oldest disguises of Hiruzen that he hasn't used in quite a long time. As now we see, he began to monitor what was different from 5 years ago in Konoha, and a lot of things have changed. And one thing was for certain different, and that was after Minato's head, it was Danzo's head that was displayed there. As Hiruzen gritted his teeth, I can't believe this. Hashirama-sama, Tobirama-sama, Minato, and I even failed to carry out your legacy. I have failed to choose the rightful successor as well. And the legacy of Konoha has been destroyed that you left behind. I'm so sorry about that. I wish there was something we could do. But there's nothing left to do. And all I can do is just carry out the mission I have been assigned. And may your soul rest in peace, Naruto. As now we see, Hiruzen began to gather supplies, or more like steal them, and steal all the clothes that he could. After taking a bath near the river, he changed his clothes from the tattered ones, and then he set out on away from here. Right now he needed to get away from Konoha and train to master his powers. And there was only one place that he could think of that would be not filled with people and would be secluded. And that was the oldest village of the sage, if that was still standing. And then the second place that came to his mind was the Uzushiogakure. So for the time being he went to the Uzushiogakure to find something. And there he found the legendary Uzumaki katana, known as the Red Dragon Sword, built by the legendary Uzumaki Kenjutsu specialist Arashi Uzumaki. The leader of the Uzumaki clan himself was there, and in pristine condition. Thank God I was able to find this weapon. As after taking that Uzumaki heirloom, we see that Naruto then went on to travel to the sage location. It took him 1 year to travel there, and during his travel he did some odd jobs to get used to his powers. But right now he knew he needed to go back to the place where it all began, to train and hone his powers. And once he arrived there, we see that he began to meditate and train on his own. And during his one of the meditation sessions, we see that for the first time in many years, he came face to face with the Kyuubi no Yoko. And seeing Hiruzen instead of Naruto, Kyuubi was in shock, but instead watching him with narrowed eyes. How is this possible? Why are you here instead of the boy's soul, Hiruzen Sarutobi? I have so many questions that I need them to be answered, but this is the first one you need to answer. It's simple. The sage, as well as the goddesses, sent me here and took the soul of Naruto, replaced him with mine. Why? Why would they do that? Simple. I have been tossed, since this was the child of prophecy that your father probably would have mentioned to you. and he was going to be killed by the people and their arrogance. I was told to replace his soul. I was told to stand in instead of him and given this task of the child of prophecy. So what are you going to do? Save them now? No. I have been given three choices. One of them was to save them. But since the three goddesses have forsaken them alongside your father, I think that is not an option. What? Father has forsaken them? Yes. And the other two were either to destroy them or to hit a restart. A restart? A reset? What do you mean by that? Simple. Chakra wasn't from the beginning not humans. It was given to us by the sage, right? Yes. As that is when Kurama's eyes widened. So you realize, Kurama, you know my name. Yes, your father has made me the next sage, so it is obvious that I know. Since I'm regaining his knowledge and memories as well. I see. Kind of hard, the man who sealed me away and made my life hell again. Turns out, he is the reincarnation of my own father. Like a father punishing his son for all the misdeeds or his misbehavior. I'm so sorry, but it isn't like that. I did not knew that this would. It's enough. If you need my help, just because my father is for the first time thinking of us, I will help you. But don't even for a second think that I would help you out of my generosity of heart. Thank you, Kurama. Good, now leave. As after that conversation we see, Naruto or Hiruzen remove that seal as well and begin to continue do his training. All the while on the other side, Menma and was training rigorously with his parents as Menma then asked, "Ne, To-chan, Ka-chan." On one evening in dinner, what was Naruto like? He's like you, but only with blonde hair of Minato's and blue eyes of his as well. I really wish I could meet him soon. Why are you so eager to meet him, kid? Said Jiraiya. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's in the village, remember? Yeah, but he's like my other half. My brother. We were supposed to be twins, and I have heard and seen many twins as far as we traveled, always sticking together for one and the other. I want something like that as well. I mean, I have a twin, but I don't even know him. I wish we could have been together. Well, the village won't allow us to take the Jinchuriki away from them now in this crucial time. So, that is why it was necessary. And you are the child of prophecy, Menma. I don't care about this child of prophecy stuff as well. All I care about is being Uzumaki, and for Uzumaki family comes first. Menma, usually that would have been the case, but right now, you need to think bigger, son. Think of the whole world as your family, but I can't. I need to at least see my real family first. As with that, Menma having an argument with his parents left to his room. Give him some time, Kushina. He will come around. He has to. As after that we see time begin to pass by as, finally, Menma reached at the age of 15, the day he was going to return, and as soon as he did, he found one thing, alongside his family, that Naruto has been killed by the people. There was an assassination, but Menma needed to get to the bottom of it, and so he did. And in the end he found out that it was the people of Konoha who killed his own brother, because they wanted to get revenge on the demon. And hearing this, Menma was burning with rage, and wanted to do something, and that was to destroy Konoha. But not like that, by putting them in place. But first he needed to discover his brother's body, or at least gravesite. But in the end he found nothing. So he went to a secluded place where he found something of a sort of a peacefulness. And there he decided to write down on a stone a name, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. He sat down next to it after stabbing the kunai on it, and began to cry. Cry for our twin brother that he had never met, his other half, who died, whom he wished he could have met. Whom he wished he could do some brotherly stuff like hang out, squabble, fight, or even just do some pranks. Everything was taken from him, and mostly from Naruto. But that is when he was surprised when Naruto appeared in front of him. Are you? Yes, brother. I have been waiting for you for quite a long time, said Naruto with a smile on his face as Menma then dashed towards Naruto and then gave him a bear hug, as Naruto hugged him back. Or at least Hiruzen, who was pretending to be Naruto, did so. Now listen here, Menma. We have to do something about what people of Konoha had done to me. What do you mean by that? What do you want to do? Tell me. I don't wish to kill them or anything. That I'm not gonna stoop so low. But I will take away one thing that is most precious to them than their life themselves. What? Their chakra. You see, I have this revelation that I am the next sage of the sixth path, and the child of prophecy, brother. You're the child of prophecy? Yes. And I have been tasked to take away this chakra from this world. Would you help me, brother? Always. Family comes first, before everyone. That is what I have learned as a Nuzumaki. And I will follow you, brother, wherever you need to go. And I have completely given up on faith on these people after I have learned what have they done to you. How did you find out? I hinged into you by changing my hair color into blonde and my eyes to blue. And these people, who are drunk, blurted out everything, calling me a demon who they have killed all this time ago. And I couldn't believe it. It sickened me and like someone was twisting my guts. I almost barfed at one point when they said that how they stabbed me and almost... How could you have survived that? It was at that moment I had this revelation, Menma. I need your help. Would you help me? Always. You don't need to ask twice, brother. And from then on, Menma joined on Naruto. Their first goal was simple. Naruto already, thanks to his divine abilities and his Rokudo abilities, he could see the future and realize the threats. One being Hiruzen's own student, Orochimaru, and then the other, the Akatsuki. So he neutralized both of them immediately, thanks to the help of Menma. All the while, a blood clone of Menma remained behind, who was working according to the instructions given to him by Menma as well. All the while, Menma and Naruto went back to the Rokudo Sanin's place, the original village, the first village to be created by the sage himself, and there they began to train again. And thanks to that, the true power of Ninshu was awakened within Menma as well. And after that, they reached at the age of 20, and soon Menma was being placed as the head of the Konoha as the next Hokage. And in this motion, all the other Kages were also present who were there because they wanted to see the power of the new Menma Uzumaki Namikaze. Because Minato was, arrogant enough to call them all here, or summon them as he called them. And there in front of everyone, we see that Naruto appeared as well. Greetings, everyone, and Konoha. Whom do you think you have killed has arrived? As everyone's eyes widen, as Minato and Kushina were surprised as well, Naruto, is that enough? I am here because Kami-Yami Shinigami has sent me, alongside with the sage. And my goal as the next sage of the sixth path is simple, to set a reset on the world. And to do that, I needed all of you to be here. Isn't that right, brother? As Menma smirked and nodded, as the real Menma appeared behind him wearing a white robe. Let's do this, brother. Good. As Menma disappeared and appeared on the other side of Konoha, using both of their hand seals, both of the Menmas, his original self and the clone, began to morph a huge field, dome of chakra, and then Naruto began to use the hand seals that were never seen. And after completing 100 seals, Naruto then yelled out, Rinnegan, special ability. Rinne reset. And with that, everyone fell down to their knees as if something painful was ripped out of them. And in an instant, the Hyuga's eyes turned back to normal with irises. They didn't have their Byakugan. Inizuka's couldn't understand the dogs. The Yamanakas couldn't do their mind transfer techniques again. As for Akamichi's, they suddenly felt overweight and had now health complications instead of them being overpowered by the more food they consumed. And as for the other clans, they also had severe, drawbacks. And Sasuke Uchiha, who was on the run at the time, as well as going to become the strongest Uchiha by killing his brother at the moment, was also taken aback once he found out that his brother and him both were now normal. As Uchiha Itachi died because of his wounds, but Sasuke fell down to the ground because he was now exhausted and didn't have any ounce of power left in him. And he couldn't even use his Sharingan. As the other world also felt it, something important has been lost. As that is when Naruto announced to the world Their chakra has been stripped from them. The power that has been given to them has been taken. As they all begin to yell and curse at him, went back as well. They went through 7 stages of grief, all until they were begging for death, saying that it was rather good to die than to be chakraless. But Naruto didn't listen to them. Menma and Naruto disappeared from then on, and years began to pass by. Now we see 5 years have went by after that, and Menma, Minato, and Kushina are living in hiding in deep forests. People across the elemental nation hate them to the core for giving birth to such kids who have taken their chakra away, their pride away. Minato and Kushina are now fugitives that are wanted and are living in constant fear of being killed. As for Jiraiya, he allowed them to escape while being the one who was killed and captured at the moment. All the while, the other villages have realized one thing. There are no longer 5 strong pillars of the elemental nations, and they are doing whatever they deem fit. And once more, the warring era between humans have started. All over again. As Menma and Naruto were watching this, I can't believe this, brother. You were right. They all have started again. I've told you, Menma. This world has been forsaken. But don't worry. There's still some hope. Hope from the future generations. As now we see, Naruto, who became the sage, using the powers of the Rinnegan and the abundance of chakra, became an immortal, and so did Menma, as both of them lived there for years and years to know, and until the reset worked and the world became to know as we know of it today, without the, well, real chakra. Chakra became nothing more a spiritual energy by now, a word of the past of ancient times, while the real concept was forever forgotten. All thanks to Hiruzen himself, who finally has been peaceful, and as so has been Menma, thinking that their job that was given to them by Kamiyama Shinigami is finally finished. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is it for the day. Peace.